Imagine you are an indie music producer in London, England. Are you imagining? Now imagine that it's a late night and you're just flipping through your radio. And what could go wrong here? What creepy, scary, ooky booky things could you find? Name me one, JD.
I don't... Oh, my head is full
Jack?
of Brexit jokes.
Jack? We're all thinking.
Anyone speaking with like that London accent?
Yeah.
What? What?
No, like Trafalgar.
Oh, Trafalgar.
No, I meant like, oh mate, I sound like an orc.
Oh yeah,
I was
mate,
thinking-
you want to go down to the pub and get some eggs? We put them in our drinks and we want Like Boilermakers, you take a shot, you chug it down, yeah, right?
Yeah, I had 18 beers this morning for breakfast and then went to work.
Yep.
Well, a real British breakfast, an English breakfast, is not the tea. It's where you pour some beer into your mouth and then you stick an egg in and then you swallow it in one swallow.
Oh. You know the English they can dislocate their jaws like snakes.
and swallow whole cans of Heinz beans. That is my favorite in the international food section is the fact that like why is this being sold? There's so much great international food there.
Yeah.
Oh, that and like Marmite.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you know why they do that?
God.
It's slow release. So throughout your heavy work day, it leaches out bean juice and therefore protein.
No Englishman has ever worked a full day.
All right, anyway, so you're going through, it's late at night. You're going through the radio stations and you find something strange. You find weird, staticky noise and music box music.
German techno music?
Possibly that. Not that scary.
What could it
okay.
be? What
Numbers.
What are you hearing?
Someone saying names and numbers and weird beeps. No, that's the last episode.
Oh. So
what could this be, Jack?
well, if I had to guess, some kind of secret government broadcast for like mind control purposes or something, communicating with the A's.
Close.
Okay, wait. So this is CrackOps. So I'm going to use that to educate my guess.
Yes.
Sounds of MI6 people, because it's not CIA, doing lines and lines of coke.
And swallowing eggs.
Okay, now I'm really scared. What does that sound like?
You know, actually, it's not that scary. I'm going to have to let you down. It is number stations. Which
Number
are...
stations.
That's still pretty scary. Math is hard.
Yeah. Yes, I would never do it voluntarily. I hate buying goods and services because then I might have to do math.
Oh, tipping.
Oh, that's easy though. You just move the what's the dot called? Decimal. Shut up. You move the decimal and then you double it and that's 20%. Shut up.
How does it fly?
Oh. How does the pigeon count?
Yeah, how does the anyway?
Anyway, on tonight's episode.
So number stations are radio stations that are done by intelligence agencies to give a one-way line of communication to spies.
Just something they can pick up?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because these number stations will give off numbers, sounds, and words that only spies will know the significance of, and they use a one-use pad.
Is that a female hygiene product?
No, those
Actually, you could. You know, if you shove anything in your pants, it could be a female hygiene product.
well, they're not one
You
use.
make a good
You
point.
flip them over at some point and you use the other side. It's like no
Oh
paper.
God, Jack, that's so gross.
I'm sorry.
That's like a BuzzFeed life hack.
Millennials are saving money with this one crazy trick.
Welcome to CrackOps.
Welcome to CrackOps, folks.
So yeah, they're spooky. They're
Wait, so you're saying that like this guy, some guy in London.
Yes, his name is Akin Fernandez.
Okay, so Akin's just like this is like late at night. He's an indie producer, just playing with the radio, and he picks
Just
up.
twisting the dial.
Do we have like any samples of this?
We sure do.
Okay, I want you to prove how creepy this is. Do we Brad? Can you?
Yeah.
Now, should I start at 0 or 10?
Can I get like a 3? Give me like a sense of scale, but don't play your trump card yet.
Do the Romanian one that none of us can pronounce. Yes.
Because he's saying good things to me.
So imagine
Uno, uno, uno.
late at night.
Doi, zero,
This is what you hear.
doi,
That is pretty creepy.
noa,
Not a
sette, 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 cinc, doi,
You know, it's
trei,
almost like a Robert
noa,
Webb piece.
trei, uop, quatro,
Like this would actually
sette.
terrify. Like you know, we tell our jokes and whatnot, but this would legitimately like terrify me.
You know, you're half
Uno,
asleep. You
doi,
just want to find some
quattro,
tunes,
Yeah.
maybe some nice
uno,
underground stations. But
uop, sette, uno,
this instead.
cinc,
Yeah.
cinc,
And this is just broadcast like
quattro,
yeah, anyone can hear it. No one's
sette,
stopping you.
trei, noa, cinc, zero,
Yeah,
zero,
this would
sette,
I would freak the fuck out.
cinc, quattro,
It's
quattro,
pretty cursed. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, because I mean, we're talking about it here and it's creepy, but imagine if you have no frame of reference for what you're hearing, and you're either just this poor guy sitting with the radio, or you're like a ham radio enthusiast
Oh man.
who just wants to make some friends over the waves.
So wait, so what time frame are we talking about for this? Like when did this all like when did this guy Akeen like find it?
So late 90s, early 2000s, since
Oh.
he's a producer, he actually released CDs of his recordings of these sort of stations in 2004.
So like there are so he found like several of them.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, so did he pick that one up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or wait, I don't want to speak about that specific recording.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure because there are a lot of
Redacted.
hobbyists redacted because there are a lot of hobbyists who record these and archive them online, and we'll have some links to different hobbyist sites.
Ooh.
You can build model planes and apparently track down secret government signals.
Oh yeah, speaking of tracking down, so you can triangulate where a radio signal comes from.
Yes, I don't know enough about anything ever to know how to do that, but that's how we found out where this little guy comes from. Play Lincolnshire Poacher from the beginning.
Lincolnshire Poacher.
Yeah, it's just a really happy little English folk song about killing animals illegally.
That's what they called me back in college. None actually.
It refers to the poached eggs which they swallow every morning
Oh,
for sustenance.
I did have someone call me Crab State Cowboy. That was pretty fun.
It's like an ice cream truck, but it brings you terror instead of sweets.
This is like some long forgotten, not super well made like arcade game.
this is
Rejected tetanus.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Tetris, not tetanus.
Well, that too.
Isn't this like the intro to one of those Ghibli movies?
It sounds like an RPG, like an old school 8-bit RPG. Like, oh boy, son, you're awake. It's time to go and explore your life of adventure. I'll die in the next 30 minutes.
Take this tune. It's dangerous to go alone.
Yeah.
Imagining if this tune had a physical form, it would be wearing a Keebler Elf hat.
No, it would have an axe.
And a Keebler Elf hat.
Oh, God.
You can
Could
have
have been
both.
pixelated.
This is America.
Not like Mosaic, but like just like 32-bit or something. Just Ba-doing? Ba-doing?
Oh,
39715.
This would make me think that the world is ending. Like there's some sort of like plague or zombie apocalypse or
Execute Order 66.
yeah, it's got that vibe. It's like this is it. The Jedi's are done. We're gonna
So-
kill everybody.
So this is commanding someone to do something.
yes, this is actually what David Cameron is doing in his retirement. That's his voice.
When he's not over at the pig house. So.
Yeah.
So like they're like, do we think that they're typically instructions or just like updates or information? We have no fucking idea.
So we can't really know. They're generally instructions or updates to spies. So the idea with the number station is that they're accessible by anyone. You won't get in trouble for like listening to them because the idea is you have to have a certain key to understand any of the codes they're giving.
Oh,
so
okay.
it doesn't matter if anyone hears them. They're just creepy to us.
Yeah,
But to a
that's-
spy, that could be valuable information
Huh.
or directions.
Don't forget the dry cleaning.
You know, the Cubans sent one out that was like Happy International Women's Day to our female comrades. And I'm just imagining all the women spies like, really, you had me fucking sit down for this.
It
That's
took me
like
20 minutes to decode
Oh
this.
shit, that's funny. Yeah. That's like
That's,
that's such a hilarious idea. And also because like they interact with other people and they're like, oh, I have to go. What do you have to do? I have to go to the bathroom. You just sit there. All right, time for my secret message.
H. A-P.
Happy Spy Day!
Happy International Women's Day to all of our spies, if we have women spies.
Ooh.
Celebrate
know.
women by taking 30 minutes of their time to decode your bullshit greeting card message.
And if it's like a one-time pad,
they just
cryptography
like,
thing, then
resources
you've
and
just
stuff like
wasted
that.
one of
Yeah, you
their
wasted one
of their
that.
keys, because that means that you like the spy ships out with a certain number of. I read Wikipedia about this. Cryptography
Trust
is
him, he's an
interesting.
expert.
Yeah,
Just not
Alan
this.
Turing right here. You can tell from the slicked over hair.
He's an expert, just not in this field.
That's a diplomatic way.
Nothing that occurs in fields is something I'm an expert on.
That's a
Indoor
sport joke.
activities only, as you can see.
That also could have been like a farmer joke. There's a lot of jokes that Jack doesn't do outdoors. Is
I
what
don't
I'm
like to
getting
go
from this.
outdoors. It's bad. All of the bad things are out there.
The sun burns us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's some fun spy time.
But you make a good point though there that like they ship out with a they have like you have a finite number of uses
Yeah.
for these things and they burn one on like
Happy
appreciation.
Appreciate your spies by making them do more work.
Doing
that is
doing
such a
a
boss
great
move.
job. We're real
That is a boss
proud of
move.
you.
You can take the capitalism out of Cuba, but you can't wait.
You can't take the cube out of that.
How does it fly? You can't take the cube out of capitalism.
Yeah, we
You can take
seized
the capitalism in Cuba. You can't take the condescending support of minority employees out of it.
Yeah, women, that notorious minority that's actually most people.
Ridiculous that that's considered a minority, but we're not getting into
Watch
that
your
right
back.
51%
We're
of people are women.
51%.
Men die more. It's true.
now. Yeah.
That's how
Bocce accidents, things that happen in fields, terrible.
Bocce accidents.
Yes.
Like the Italian game where you throw the balls and try to like knock them around.
Well, that too.
Horrible bass fishing accidents. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
listening to
56
this and
bass
having a
pile.
heart attack. It's funny because y'all have weak hearts.
Getting
Prep,
your
prepping for this and doing too much cocaine and having a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think next we shall play UVB 76.
Didn't they make that Red Red Wine song?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's a pretty good guitar tone.
He's just tuning.
So here's my question: have these been found in the United States?
You can hear some of them in the U.S. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, what's the range on one of these things?
Highly variable. Actually, this specific one, despite a lot of conspiracy theories, because you see, not all number stations are just for communicating with spies. This one is actually to communicate with military within Russia. That's the general theory, just because it's really hard to pick up outside of Russia.
And is it called the general theory because it's like communicating with generals? Or
Oh. So a lot of people.
Divide.
So a lot of people on the internet think this is like a regular communicating with spies number station. But if you go on the RuNet, which is the Russian internet, there's a lot of ex-service people who just say like all sort of the same thing, that like, yeah, this is just something boring thing we use to communicate with people in the field. And I have no reason to believe them, but that sounds like mundane enough that it's probably true.
Yeah, that's lame enough to be
I mean,
real.
yeah, like if you could use this, if you use this to talk to spies, you could also use it to talk to other people who you want to send covert messages to, but you don't.
And I also believe it because it had been running since the 70s, and if you look at the Eastern Bloc countries in the Soviet Union, most of their number stations stopped, of course, in between 89 and 92 with all the regime changes
For unknown reasons.
Yeah,
for
what
unknown
happened then?
reasons.
Nothing.
But UVB 76 just went uninterrupted, which makes me think that it was some institution like the military.
Yeah.
It
sometimes
didn't
they
like
couldn't
totally
stop.
fall
Yeah.
apart.
Maybe it's the thing from Dr. Strangelove, where if the code stops being sent out, then all of Russia's nuclear weapons go off.
Yeah, the deadest hand of all.
Yeah,
That's-
the
that's-
extremely dead hand.
That's a really terrifying thought.
That's
We
actually
should do dead hand.
That's a
Dead
a
hand.
that's
a lot of
bizarre
people in
kind
mine
kill
say
switch,
that's what
though.
it is, but you know,
Wow.
isn't dead hand like is that a real thing?
I don't know if it was ever real.
But it's kind of fun idea, not fun, but you know, just kind of fun to think
Yeah,
about.
it's
All right,
it's
I can't-
gallows humor. It's like, ha ha ha!
What if?
Isn't that hilarious?
Dead hand job. Oh,
Jesus.
we're here all week.
Oof, unfortunately.
Big. Now,
I'm not locked in here with you.
You're locked in here with me.
So, and we can track down sort of where these come from. For example, the Lincolnshire butcher, Lincolnshire
Poacher?
poacher.
Yeah.
We are pretty sure that that's British MI6 because it comes from Cyprus, where they have an RAF base, which is like their Royal Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It's like an Air Force, but they just have crowns on all the planes.
Oh.
They just took a bunch of American airline planes and they just put like Colonial in front.
They wish. So now
Fuck yeah.
we're gonna listen to next Swedish Rhapsody, which is wait, get ready. It's a station from the Polish intelligence service.
I'm sorry, the what?
The Polish intelligence service.
You're going to have to do better than that when you make up
404
concepts.
gate error not found?
Let me pronounce it. Służba bezpieczeństwa.
Gesundheit.
I labeled it in parentheses Polish Stasi. So let's give it a listen. Let's see what the Poles are up to.
Oh my god. This is the mystery box from Black Ops.
What's that? It sounds like it smells like sounds like a small girl. This is what the doll whispers to you before it murders you.
Chucky.
Yeah.
Imagine accidentally finding this
Ugh.
while trying to talk to your friend Dale on ham radio.
Come in, Dale.
See, but like,
Well,
is
I'm
it all
looking
like
for
is it
Dale.
ham radio signals or is it like AM? Like
You said high frequency, right?
It's shortwave.
I don't know if there's a difference.
I don't know anything about radio. Stop engineering me into a corner.
I'm just asking.
Podcasting jail.
Podcast.
No nerd shit.
Do you know
This
what
is
AM
all
and
nerd
FM stands
shit.
for?
So,
All money, fresh money?
No.
what do you think about any theories about the little girl voice? What do you think happened there?
They had a cursed child locked in a tower. And they had to
Yeah.
do something with her because she was eating up a lot of state money to keep her in with
So
magical
they
spells.
to make it revenue neutral.
Yeah.
They made her a government employee, and also would sometimes send prisoners there.
For testing.
But actually, JD, what do you think that was?
Either it's the ultimate nepotistic move, and it's like
niece.
I got my
niece program.
niece's job with the intelligence agency.
Someone's 4-year-old niece.
Yeah,
They like hold her up
exactly.
to the microphone
Yeah,
under the arms of a
exactly.
Hey,
cat.
check it out today. It's take your kid to work day.
Ein, zwei.
Is
Die.
that German?
So yeah, that was actually German language, just to throw people off because it was Polish intelligence.
Again.
And this,
Stop making up
this
concepts.
is interesting. This is interesting because
We
this
have to
is
use
run
some facts.
since between the 50s and 1989, except one broadcast in 1998, apparently. There's no recordings of that, but apparently they did a reunion concert on air in 1998. One day only?
Wait. So that was active for like 30 years,
Yes.
and then it stopped.
Yes.
And then about 10 years later, there was just a random ass broadcast on the same channel.
According to hobbyists, yes.
And that was it like the same broadcast, or was it like
I can't really answer that. I assume that it, because you see, each of these broadcasts gives like a different message.
Yeah.
It's not just like eat your Ovaltine, drink your Ovaltine over and over.
Eat your Ovaltine.
Okay, I always
snort
ate my
your
Ovaltine.
Ovaltine?
I'm here.
Intravenously inject your Ovaltine?
I am spoonful of Ovaltine nation. Anyway, but I
The
assume.
spoon gets sticky.
Shut up! You lick the
Nation of
spoon.
one.
Nation. I'm a sovereign citizen for eating chocolate flavored powder.
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
I am in
As I
podcast
shovel
jail.
Ovaltine into my mouth in front of the cop.
Oh god, it's just like it's in my face, it's in my lungs.
Ma'am, I'm gonna have to ask you to step out of the car.
I'm crying.
Like an industrial age worker, I shoveled Ovaltine like coal into the furnace that was
Jesus
my
You
Christ.
mouth.
load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day oval and deeper in debt.
So I assume it was the same format because it seems like all of these number stations have like a shtick where they have some creepy noise. I'm not sure if they do make it creepy on purpose or if that's just extra. And then someone reading out numbers or sometimes names.
I mean, if I was a government agency that doing this shit, and I had to make a signal station that would just send out messages I'd want it to sound creepy as fuck.
I would want it to sound whimsical and fun.
I almost wonder if they're like, because I feel like you could hide these messages in plain sight by just making it like a pirate radio station, and in between songs have this stuff. But I feel like they made it so creepy that it's just more conspicuous.
How many, okay, do you think that someone has ever used like college radio stations to do the same damn thing?
Ooh, folks, they're sending messages on the indie rock station.
Like, yeah, but like, just like, yeah, we decided that, like, the government just picks out a space and they just borrow. You could just do that. You could just like borrow some college's radio station, pick the midnight spot that no one wants to use.
But what you would do is you would just have a front company buy advertising.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
Dale's Window Emporium at 6 p.m. You need to be at the
Take the shot.
be on the grassy knoll in 1960.
Whoa, shit.
Go back in time.
Second wire.
The grassy knoll is really in our heart.
The grassy knoll is the friendship that we
Me-
found along the way. Oh.
Well, everyone knows that the cat was at the grassy knoll.
That's right.
But, yeah. So I it's kind of weird how they did these. I almost feel like they made them, like, stand out on purpose. And on one hand, that
you
makes...
want them to be findable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if not make them
yeah.
findable, but you could also just tell your spies, like, hey, tune in to NPR at 6 a.m.
Listen to this particular podcast.
Listen to the secret messages about the grassy knolls in this podcast.
See,
17,
what you guys don't get is
44,
that we're actually
69,
sending out secret signals. We're playing
42,
these, but we've sent out
0,
like one-time pads or
and
whatever it
74,
was. We sent out some maxi pads, and they if you read the codes on them, then they line up.
Yeah,
with
you
what
know,
we're playing.
Using
maxi
little-
pads have many layers, and as you peel them away, each has a message.
And if you put some of them in the oven, they reveal the hidden ink that tells you what you're supposed to do.
Ogres
Can you imagine, like, your roommate comes home and you just pull a sheet of maxi pads out of the oven,
Dinner will be ready soon.
push off the presses.
Look, they're nice and golden brown.
The trick is to do a little light brushing of butter and garlic, and then finish them off.
I like to use, some people like to use a lot of butter with their maxi pads. I like to keep it a little lower calorie and use canola oil, just a little bit, very lightly.
This sound bit is going to exist forever, Jack.
Yeah, we're posting that.
No, we aren't. We're not posting anything.
Please, I beg of you.
So
Put it
you
up
know,
online.
so you-
Speaking of
you
maxi
take-
pads.
Do they distribute like Little Orphan Annie decoder rings to their agents?
Something like that. So all of these work different, presumably. I mean, I kind of doubt all the spy agencies in the world use the same technique, but it's the idea of having a unbreakable code. So imagine you have your little Orphan Annie spy ring, the two concentric circles with letters, numbers, characters,
Okay, yeah, which I have one of these, so
yes. And you
In
set
front
it
of me,
to
totally.
D5, and now you can decode the message. But you can only decode the message if you have the key. If you do not have the key, you will never be free.
cool. Locked in the tower forever.
Yes.
So you can listen into one of these things,
Oh, it is
And-
incomprehensible unless you have the key.
and you can put it through a computer or whatever, and you can try and decode it every which way. And
Yeah, it
won't
doesn't work. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
if there was any way, the only way to crack these is if they reused keys for whatever reason, and I can't think of a time that happened.
Well, every International Women's Day, the Cuban Intelligence Service uses the same key.
Oh, that would be hilarious if the Cubans got busted because they just
The same one twice.
you're like, women. What even are they? Celebrate
You're going
women.
to show up to celebrate International Women's Day at the office. You're going to come 30 minutes early for the office party.
Yes.
To celebrate you.
Women.
We love our women, don't we, folks? They're good.
The women are great.
Fan-
So, an interesting case of these being used is, do any of you know about the Attention case?
No.
No, doesn't
That
that
was
just
a
mean
very
attention?
pained no.
No, I don't. I don't. What?
Should we?
Like-
I didn't do any reading.
Oh, so it's funny because this was in the news until
can't read.
9/11 happened. It's one of the many things that got overshadowed, like the Strokes' first album, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs' first album.
That Limp Bizkit video where they played on top of the World Trade Center.
Yes, all the things that got overshadowed in 2001. It was news and then it wasn't. So
For unrelated reasons.
there was this woman named Anna Montez who was an American spy. She was DIA agent who, for like 15 years, spied for the Cubans. She released so much sensitive information while she was being promoted and like getting awards and stuff.
Oh, yikes.
And she communicated by the Cubans. She would tune into a number station that was run by the Cubans called Atención. She'd get her messages, and then she'd go to payphones, back when those were a thing. Ugh. She'd go to...
Man, cell phones, they've really ruined our international spy stuff.
I know, you can't go to L'Enfant Plaza and use the payphone there to send coded messages back to your handlers.
Sad. You can't go to the plaza, which is just French for the baby. Which always geeks me out.
Wait, what?
L'enfant.
The
baby.
Oh,
The
it's
infant-
the
the infant-
child.
The baby. It means
Enfant in French is child, not Miss Baby.
But it's like where infant comes from.
Yeah,
right?
that's where
that's
it
where
comes
infant
from.
Okay.
l'enfant, the child
The-
or
the-
the baby.
Yes, the
Hold
baby
on,
station.
let me go down to the baby station and do some spying.
And she wore a pointy black hat and a long black coat, and her face was weirdly conical.
Did she have like a
What?
abnormally long, like green pointed nose? And was she older than a person should be?
Oh, I was thinking of Spy vs. Spy.
Oh,
But that
I
works
was
too.
thinking of witches.
I'm
Sorry,
so
you
lost.
fucked that up.
I don't know what's happening.
I was thinking that you're saying she's a witch.
I was-
Because she's like, I'm mad.
Is this a number station now?
14.
11.
Okay,
10.
so like Atención, she would like,
69.
so she would get the signals. She would get the signals.
Get the signal.
Folks, I have the signals. I'm right here. I've seen the signals.
You good?
Globalists don't want you to see the signals, folks.
Christ.
So yeah, we got some other number stations, such as
Wait, hold on. We didn't finish.
We
the
have a
Atención
number of
case.
stations.
What
Oh.
happened?
Yeah. Why is it called the Tension?
How did she get caught?
oh yes,
Okay.
she
why we know her
very
name.
she
Well,
very
yeah,
much
but
They're
got
usually
caught.
secret.
Yes, it's a leading question, Jack.
Oh, thank you, Jack. Very cool. So yeah, she got caught because, she was suspect for many years because they kind of noticed a lot of information she handled like suddenly ended up other places. How does that happen?
Oh my god.
So
She was very into ham radio and
yeah, she just sat all day. They just saw
She
her
loves
in her.
payphones.
always had a dime for the payphone. That's not normal.
Oh yeah, like she bumps into the cute coworker and she's like, "Oh, I dropped my dimes," and it's just like 2 pounds of dimes fall out of her pockets.
It's like ye old sacks of gold.
Yeah, it has a dollar sign on it. Oh, it has like a cent sign on
Oh,
it.
could you
Yeah.
help me pick up my dimes? And he's like helping. It's like a rom-com, but it's,
Yeah, but it's actually a spy movie
yes,
about dimes.
Spomcom.
All right, I'm gonna turn that into a movie now.
it's the world's first spom-com.
Spomcom.
So they suspected her for years, and actually the only reason they pulled the plug on her, because, they're never 100% sure, and she's such a good employee, except for the spying for Cuba thing, is because we went to war with Iraq, and she had sort of access to some very sensitive details, and apparently the Cubans like to take our information and give it to just enemies willy-nilly. So they were like, we really don't want the Taliban to know what's happening, so we're just going to arrest you. So,
Get owned.
get
That's so petty. Oh my god. Just to anybody?
Well, hey, I mean,
I don't. This is what they said. No, I don't know.
I mean,
what
that's-
Cubans do.
if I was an enemy of the state,
Yeah.
big if, then
Good cover, man. Good cover.
Good work. Good
yeah,
work.
then
it up.
no, but like that's what I would do. It'd be like, yeah, I cannot take you down, but you know what I can do? I can make shit be really fucking hard.
Oh yeah.
You just cause problems.
Up yours,
The
buddy.
Mean Girls of Spycraft. Mm-hmm. That's like slashing 3 tires.
Write your name in
but
the
for-
burn book
Oh.
and then give it to the principal.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah, from when did that come out?
It's old.
2004.
It's like a
It's
20-year-old
old.
movie.
Yeah.
Hey Brad, when did Mean Girls come out? The first one, not the second one.
1836.
We don't talk about the second one.
That makes sense.
Oh, he didn't even have to look at a computer. He
knows.
just knows
I
it in
know
his
it.
heart of hearts.
Yeah.
Off my head.
Brad doesn't have a
Favorite movie?
computer. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
The 1836. It's the daguerreotype movie.
It's painted on canvas and they crank it.
Yeah.
Crank
They
it
had
across
to
the
they had to
stage.
tarnish the silver using special processes.
Now, sometimes number stations aren't really number stations. This was a suspected number station. Now, Brad, look up Yosemite Sam Station. All right, this is...
Wait, so it's actually Yosemite Sam?
Yes! It is Yosemite Sam.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm remixing this into my trap song.
Oh, for sure. This is so good.
What is this?
This is
It's Yosemite Sam.
This is Yosemite Sam sending secret messages to Elmer Fudd so they can coordinate their hunt on animals.
Bugs Bunny.
It just does
One,
that.
two,
Yeah,
three.
that's it. So, do you ever...
Rabbit thieving.
This message means that it's duck thieving.
So,
No, it's rabbit season.
any questions about the Yosemite Sam?
Can you imagine, though, a really, really slow interchange between two of these stations where one is like a lisping guy and the messages all read rabbit season when you decode them?
Oh, yeah,
Rabbit thieving.
we're going to make an Elmer Fudd station out of this podcast. So, this is something that you could hear in the early 2000s in the Southwest, sort of around New Mexico.
Okay.
Does that make it more or less creepy?
Was that drug cartels?
No. So apparently, a lot of hobbyists say, because we have to kind of go off of what they say, is that it was traced back to a factory in, I think, New Mexico or Arizona that makes radio equipment, and apparently this was their wacky way of testing it out.
Oh, I believe that.
Oh, that's kind of
No,
cool.
I 100% believe
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's plausible.
Yeah. No,
I think that's
that
another
actually,
thing of
that
they're
actually
just-
makes perfect sense.
They're just messing around. They didn't think anyone was going to hear it.
Yeah.
But of course, it's New Mexico, and people think it's like...
because like
It's
that's
the aliens.
that's 100% what I would do. It's like, yeah, we need to test our radio signals.
I'm gonna
Hey,
blow
guys.
your...
Hey guys, let's just like make something really funny, like someone just going like penis, and then that's what you use to like.
Let's clip that.
Like, is it working? Penis. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. All right, that's the standard, and then that's a standard in your company. It's an industry standard.
Yosemite Sam is
Again,
the industry
the person
standard.
who chose the clip for this, like the clip of Yosemite Sam, nephew. This has huge nephew energy.
I think
I don't
this is
know.
uncle. I think this is an
CEO
uncle.
nephew.
This is fun dad energy.
Uncle. I get fun uncle
Okay,
energy.
but nephew energy and fun dad energy are
No, they're very
close.
different
They're
because fun
close,
dad
yeah.
is like there's still competency there. Nephew is just like I have no purpose but to
Nephew.
like be the nephew of someone more important and more competent, far more competent.
nephew. Delete this.
A fun dad is likely to be the nephew of somebody.
Well, everyone is someone's nephew.
Well, it's just not true.
Unless
That's 51% of the population.
Oh yeah.
Happy International Women's Day. From
to our women comrades.
I just wish that there was some kind of socialist government that could send me a message to remind me about women.
women exist. Human female.
It does. They don't even encrypt it. They
Damn,
just
I
say
forgot
women exist.
An app. An app that gives you a daily reminder that women exist.
Oh, hold on, my phone just buzzed. Women
Women.
be existing. Oh, okay.
Women, and then you're like, oh, what's a woman again? It's like, okay, X chromosome, or I remember
Like, oh
these.
yeah, duh. I forgot something when I came into the room. What was it? Let me check my phone.
Oh, women.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, women be womening. So that's technically not a number station, but it was part of like the lore for so long because people assumed there was some deeper meaning to Yosemite Sam and a bunch of static.
Oh yeah, I want to go on the forums for these because I
Yeah.
bet the forums are great.
That probably launched so many hilarious
Great
conspiracy
conspiracy
theories
theories.
about like people probably like okay, Yosemite Sam is Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't. I honestly. Yeah. So
Disney.
great. Now we're fucking sued.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don't say the
All right,
word.
that's
don't
it. We're
say the
done. Sorry,
word.
We
guys.
say Looney Tunes, but we can't say Disney.
You did it again.
Oh shit!
Great.
We
now
are
they
the
double
knights who
on our
say
ass.
Disney.
They triple on our ass. Guys, you summon him. It's like Beetlejuice.
So do you think that's more or less creepy than the other ones?
I think
Oh,
it's
I
less.
don't know. I
creepy.
think that's less creepy, but that's something that's unfamiliar with though.
The burst of like static or that tone. That's creepy because you hear something like that and you assume that it's like a modem, like a modulated tone with data, and you're like, what's the information?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess if I heard that, I would be less concerned because I mean, especially if I lived in the area and I knew about the radio factory, maybe. But like, I mean, that's all obviously all conjecture. But what I do want to talk about, or at least want to at least tangentially talk about, is think about how many Yosemite Sam conspiracy theories this has launched, and how many hours people have spent watching episodes of Looney Tunes with Yosemite
Well, this is
Sam,
almost exactly like the
digging through it, like there's a secret meaning here. We have to find it.
The numbers,
lizard
Mason.
people.
We're running out of
What do
time.
they mean?
Well, that's exactly what happened with WebDriver Torso, which was this
What
YouTube
the
channel.
fuck?
WebDriver Torso.
Wow. Okay.
Do you want to guess what that is?
Torture program.
Snuff porn.
Okay.
Thank you. That's a good guess.
You topped my guess. Cool.
One of
When
these
in
is
doubt.
not like the others.
When in doubt, snuff porn.
Yeah, when in doubt, guess snuff porn.
Thank you, Alan Dulles. Very cool.
It's the CrackOps guarantee.
I'm not.
Folks, it's snuff porn or your money back.
So. Thanks for chatting.
Oh no.
Or no, thanks 8chan.
Oh, why are we adding more chans?
There's too many chans.
Thanks to the
And I do not
donations
mean
and
to
contributions
insult the
from viewers
chans
like
of our
you.
community. By which I mean the common Chinese surname.
Chan.
Or the what is it? The suffix in Japanese
Yeah.
for like someone who's like younger than you.
Okay, WebDriver
Actually.
Torso. So it was a YouTube channel that had about 80,000 videos, each 11 seconds long, of different shapes,
Okay.
animations, movements, and there were so many conspiracy theories about it for such a long time.
Is it still up?
Yeah, but it turns out that it was just something made by Google and YouTube to like test quality, sort of like Yosemite Sam.
Oh.
It was their Yosemite Sam.
So funny.
That's wow. So it would just be like a triangle or something?
Or yeah, it would be stuff. It would be different shapes flashing and moving around,
Ooh.
and it was like never hidden. But they also didn't expect anyone to like find it.
That seems
Yeah.
to be a common thread.
Yeah, a very common thread. So
There
yeah,
are
it's
too
sort of
many
like
nerds.
that.
They keep finding all of these things
Yeah.
that are supposed to be hidden.
There's so
I
many
know.
people.
Stop having so much free time. Get a job.
Aw, but what if your job is to write clickbaity articles about the most scary radio broadcasts ever?
Yeah. No, fair enough.
So, any questions, comments, rigorous intellectual debate?
Subs or dubs?
Oh, I remember. We
Okay,
need to
hold on.
play.
What do you mean subs or dubs?
Subs or dubs? You know, with the anime.
Yeah, like either way. Well, subs or dubs. Dubs can be as
She
good
said
as subs.
intellectual.
Dubs
Here we
can be
go.
as good as
Okay.
subs. All right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about
You're just
that.
a fucking weeb if you don't like them.
I'm Team Dubs.
the American voice actors can be.
Come on,
Can
man.
be so yeah.
We have
Look,
two normal people at this table.
Yeah, subs is where it's at.
Yeah, because
really, Jack.
the voice
Galatians
actors.
4:16.
Dubs.
Because now that I have,
But not
am I
everyone
your
can do
enemy
that.
because I have told you the truth?
I've never been to Galatia, and I'm never going. I'm
Where-
sure the Galatians are
Where
very
is
nice
Galatia?
people.
Like I'm assuming the Mediterranean.
It's in
Like,
it's in
where?
Anatolia. It was
That does not
actually
help.
Turkey.
Oh yeah, I also don't know where that is.
so.
Wait.
Actually, Brennus' Gallic horde, which descended upon Macedon and the Greek states in the 3rd century BC.
Brad, one last thing. I forgot about the gongs.
Oh right.
The Gongs.
The gongs? It's gong time. We're gonna finish this off with some gongs.
I don't,
I
think
don't
we're-
like
know
this.
if we're gonna
Is this a
finish
concept
it.
album? Why is it like
It's a weird reverb.
this is psychedelic?
This is like the horror, like a black and white horror film from like the 50s.
Yeah, this
And
is
they're like
hard.
they're walking. They're like they found they unlocked the secret door and they're walking through all these like gothic chambers and they're just like, what are all those paintings? And then they cuts to the painting with the guy's actual eyes in it and you're like, no, turn around, look, you're being spied on.
Honestly, I get more of an experimental music from the 60s vibe.
Yeah, this is like Tibetan monks, like music being taken by weird hippie white people.
It's just
Distorted.
Well,
Yeah.
from music perspective, it just sounds like bell chimes.
0, 3, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 6. 3,
Plot twist.
8, 4, 6, 7, 8,
Is that a person?
Yes. Well, or at least a machine.
Probably dead by now.
Now it's
Attention.
funny because Achtung, beware, or danger.
Yeah. Or
So-
I think Achtung just means like attention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's often used as like attention, beware, danger sort
Oh,
of thing.
okay.
I only know it because in Call of Duty
Thank you, Germaboo.
3,
What? Germaboo?
Wereaboo.
What? Oh,
Yeah, it's like a weeaboo, but for the Wehrmacht, there's a
No,
wereaboo.
I took 2 years of German in high school. That was it.
Well, you're getting a lot of mileage out of it.
Yeah, it's useful.
They told me Spanish would be helpful, but I guess German would have been a better pick.
I don't remember anything from Spanish except for Computadora.
so that that's important. So that was just a Brian Eno album we played. No,
I don't
no,
like
it
Brian
was-
Eno then.
Well, so yeah, number stations. They're spooky. They're not something you want to find when you're driving in your truck late at night.
I don't know. I guess now I'd be a lot less concerned. I'd be like, spy shit.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But if you're just
kinda
some
cool.
dude with his ham radio, it's the 70s.
But you don't want to hear it because when you hear it, that means that they're spies.
we know they're spies, though.
Yeah, but they're spies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I guess.
But it reminds you that
But
they're
exactly.
spies.
But yeah,
you know,
that's what
you
you're
know,
talking about. Yeah, you're like
Like, ooh,
that-
there's a hidden world
this
out there.
constant reminder that like there's this shit.
And it's all in plain
constantly
sight.
going.
Yeah,
And
it's
you have
it's
no way of
happening.
knowing what
You
it
have
is.
no way of knowing about it. But I guess the inverse to that is that it's also but then you know about it. And you learn once you learn about it,
Yeah.
it suddenly becomes so much less terrifying and it's
That's
and it's
fair enough.
that's such a concept in spycraft is hiding in plain sight. And nothing's more hiding in plain sight than this creepy shit being able to be heard by anybody who cares.
yeah, but that's like
and
that's
the
like the
nerds
other
do
side
generate
of
a lot of smoke and heat. They make a lot of press and mess
it. Yeah.
that probably covers for a lot of real ops.
Yeah, but like this also like this is almost the exact opposite of like hide in plain sight. It's like we're not hiding. It's easy. You can fucking listen to it all you damn want. You're not gonna understand shit. Hell, half the time the people we send it to doesn't understand.
Oh, they have
how
the
it
wrong
works.
cipher. They're like,
Yeah.
happy, imperbatchable, bum day.
It's like God damn it.
I think I know what they were going for.
I'm just glad that they're trying back at HQ. I appreciate it. Human resources at the Cuban spy department. Killing it.
Thanks, Cuba.
This is an inclusive workplace.
We're sponsored by Cuba.
Yeah, this is also
And
a
that's
psyop.
when the jackbooted stormtroopers kick down the door.
For legal reasons, no, we are not sponsored by Cuba yet.
Yet. We'll take money from anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Any alphabet soup agencies want to sponsor us, foreign intelligence, corporate sponsors. Hope because corporate guys have all the money, so I want corporate.
This is brought to you by Raytheon.
Again, for legal reasons, it's not.
Not
No, it's actually this is a Northrop Grumman podcast.
Aw.
Raytheon is a competitor.
Jesus fucking fuck. We just need that on we need like a soundboard that just says for legal reasons it's
Stop
not.
cursing. Corporate said we can't do too many swears.
We'll have the button, the disclaimer button.
it just bleeps over whatever we're saying and like what we just said is not true.
It is a joke.
We should just have a thing that splashes on the screen and bleeps it out that just says gamer moment. For whenever we say something too stupid.
Well, then that would just be the
Bay
entire
of Pigs
podcast.
moment.
Oof.
Ooh. Although depending
Ouch.
on your outlook, the Bay of Pigs was a great success.
Hey.
Perspective. Ding.
So yeah, that was number stations.
That was a pretty cracked op.
Yeah.
I think these ops are cracked.
Yeah, I mean, I think the number stations come off less as like a crack up, but more just like a reminder of like
A dark op.
it's
Not even an op.
I don't know. It's kind of like
Multiple
like
ops.
I would say that this is a thing that you could use to compare it to the other shit that we talk about on this as like number stations work. That's why they're still used.
They're really great.
They're so
Yeah.
and
Obviously, they were-
it's
must
like
work
when
really
people
well.
try to get too clever almost is when things really start to become $1 million boondoggles.
Yeah, it's like what is just simple. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's reliable.
But it
Versus
it
an
is
acoustic
cheap.
kitty.
It is compared to some other stuff that is like
Yeah.
hey, run a radio station. That's pretty cheap compared to let's dig a tunnel
And put a cat in
in
it.
DC and do a terrible job of it.
yeah,
You know?
let's just give a bunch of people LSD. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it's reliable. I guess this is an anti-crack op because
Yeah.
it works very well and it's still in use.
but it's still
Yeah,
but it's
fair enough.
but I think it's important to talk about these too because it's like first of all, it's like a dead drop. Like dead drops are like such a simple thing in spycraft. It's just hey, this is the location that we both know to go to, but no one goes to at the same fucking time. Just don't do it.
Yeah, these are It's just a really good communication.
But it's even
Yeah.
more foolproof than a dead drop because there's no physical evidence.
You don't transmit anything when you receive one of these, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's
the thing.
no-
It's
yeah.
one
Totally
way.
Yeah, I mean the only way that you could get caught with it is if someone catches you listening to it.
And then you can just say, look what I found. Isn't
Yeah,
this
you can
weird?
play
And then
like-
just
like-
turn it back
like,
to something
listen to
normaler.
this fucking shit, man. It's creepy as hell. What is this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Or you can keep it on because they won't know what they're listening to.
Yeah, you could.
Oh yeah,
Just
just
like,
say
look what I
it's a
found.
good
You just memorize it.
Brian Eno record. It's a new Brian Eno
Yeah.
Look at
record.
this new David Bowie.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't he dead?
Dimitri, this station slaps.
It's a
What-
B-side to
Frequency.
Varshava.
Learning to count using number stations.
9,
1, 2, 3.
Oh, that was. What if that was a number station all along?
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Sesame Street is an op. folks, I've seen the documents. Sesame Street is an op.
Oh, geez.
That's why he's always hiding in a trash can. Now, Brad, do you have any thoughts?
No?
There are things we know, but there are also the ones we don't know,
I welcome this kind of examination.
The power of the presidency doesn't rest here.
Covert operation. Grave danger to the civilized world.
You deserve the truth.